What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dad's Expensive Hobby.
What's up?
Today we're going to take a look at the Dragon Stars series Vegeta Mini from Dragonball Daima. I've been waiting for a few days to get this little fella, and he finally came in the mail yesterday. So let's take a look at him. I'm going to be honest with you. I like him, but in typical Dragon Stars fashion, he does do some things that, some people probably won't like, and he does a lot of the things that we don't like that the Goku Mini did as well. But we'll get into all that here in just a few minutes. First things first, let's get him measured up and see how small he is.
So how tall are you?
Okay, to the top of his tall Vegeta hair, he is just shy of 4.5 inches, more like 4.25 inches, and to his hairline, he is more like 3.25 inches, which would make the entire figure right at 11 centimeters. Let's compare him and stand him next to some other little figures that we have. Mostly the Dragon Stars version of Goku Mini right here. And if Goku is taller than him, it ain't by much. But then again, Dragon Stars scaling is never all that awesome. And no figure lines is. But this, Dragon Stars is notorious for it being all over the place. And let's stand him next to the Vegeta Mini from SH Figure Arts. And there is just no comparison. Look how little that fella is. And let's also stand him next to the Goku Mini from SH Figure Arts. My goodness, SH Figure Arts took the word mini and ran with it. My gosh, those little things are so small. And let's stand him next to Kid Goku here from GT. And just like the others, he's absolutely dwarfed because it's a Dragon Stars. And why aren't you standing up, Kid Goku from GT? There we go. Check it out. It's a minifig party. Look here. And just for fun, let's stand him next to an adult version of himself from SH Figure Arts, the superhero Vegeta. And let's stand him next to an adult Goku. And I think they all look pretty good together. Scalings never match, especially between Dragon Stars and SH Figure Arts. But all in all, I think it looks good. And he is still a little figure. These guys are just extra little. But that's all I've got for scale and comparisons, really. Let's take a look at his accessories.
Propane and propane accessories.
Okay, now he is a Dragon Stars, and we all know that they are not known for their accessories. But what he comes with, I guess, looks okay, especially for the price point and what he is. He comes with 4 interchangeable hands. He comes with the 2 little fists on him in the package. And he's got 2 little blast hands. And he comes with a nice looking little energy effect piece. And he's got this little yellow plastic blast effect right here. We've seen this in countless other Dragon Stars figures. And that's it. I mean, for $21 and it's a Dragon Stars, we really can't ask for much more than that. But the fact that, he's a mini and he is small, we really don't get much plastic at all for our buck with this figure. I'm not going to lie. Even the Goku version, he had quite a little bit of accessories for what he was. So I think this one we did get shortchanged just a little bit, kind of like we did with the SH Figure Arts, to be quite honest. But it is what it is. 21 bucks is not that big a deal. That's all I've got for accessories. Let's move in and take a look at his paint and detail.
I must paint you.
Oh, that's so...
Okay, paint and detail wise, there is not much paint on him. But to answer the question that I'm sure was burning in your mind, because it was burning in mine when I was waiting to get him, is his hair rubber too? Yes, it is.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And I still don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. The sculpt in it looks good, it's got nice little lines, but it's worrying me, is this the future of these figures' heads? Are all their hair sculpts going to be rubber?
Help me!
But anyway, that's speculation, and I don't know. The paint that he does have looks good. He has paint on his face. The eyebrow and eye applications both look pretty good. I do have some complaints about some black speckling on the right side of his face and in his left ear. Hopefully that's just my figure. Somebody down in the comments tell me if you've heard of anybody else having it. There's paint around his little neck here and on the upper chest, and it looks good. Just like all the Saiyan armor figures for Vegeta or anybody else in general, the yellows are painted and they look really good. Can't complain there. I think no, the wrist part of his gloves are not paint. That's white plastic.
I feel a little silly now.
And his toes, the toes of his boots, are paint and they look pretty good. And that is it. Everything else is plastic, and it is very plasticky looking plastic, to kind of do a double entendre right there. Very shiny and kind of cheap looking, not gonna lie. They kind of shorted us on this figure. No matte finish, nothing. It is just plastic as could be. But what the sculpt of and everything does look good. It's just there's no finish to it. This does not look like a collectible at all. That's literally all I've got for his paint and detail. There is not much to it. Looks like Vegeta. It looks like Vegeta from Daima, but it's just kind of cheap looking. Not gonna lie. And in that rubber hair, you know, from the Goku video, you know, I have mixed feelings, more leaning towards not liking it whatsoever. But very little paint. And where there is paint, there's actually some little scripts on his face and ear, but that could be just my figure. But that's all I've got. So let's take a look at his articulation.
I know Kung Fu.
Okay, for a Dragon Stars, he moves pretty well. Very, very similar to how Goku moved. Head looks down real well, looks up excellent, tilts side to side, and that's because his head is just like Goku's. It's a ball peg at the top and a ball peg down at the bottom of the neck, and that functions like a double ball peg, and you can just kind of take it wherever you want it to go, and I think it looks pretty good.
Oh, hallelujah.
His, a little gappy in the neck in the front, no gap in the back, but in the front, you take his head too far back, you are going to get a gap, so be mindful of that. Just don't take it back quite that far and you won't have that problem. His little shoulders go up to 90, maybe just a shy past it. Obviously, it's a Dragon Star, so no butterfly joint, so that's as close together as his hands are going to get.
We have a problem.
Sorry, but you know, it's a Dragon Stars, that's what you get. Little bicep swivel, it works just fine. He's got a little double jointed elbow, but his lower arm is too long because of his hands, and it bumps into his face. Unless you tilt his head to the side, you're not going to really engage that double jointed elbow, excuse me, unless you move his head to the side. Wrists are on a ball hinge. Absolutely no abdomen articulation whatsoever.
It's not that hard.
But it's a Dragon Star, so no surprise there. You can twist him all the way around. His little hips, they are drop-down hips, just like any of the full-size figures, that especially the older ones. So you can get a whoops and see it pops off pretty easy, but it just snaps right back on. If I can do it really quick while on camera. Yep, I can. And, you know, no, not a full split, but then again, he's a Vegeta, and find me a Vegeta that can do a full split. That's from, you know, from an official, not, you know, not some third-party figure. It'll swivel a little on that ball peg that's up in there. So no real thigh swivel, but it'll swivel on the ball peg and the hip. Double jointed knee, that works real good. Again, these crazy big feet right here throws his proportions off and his balance, but you'll see that here in a second. His little ankles are on a ball hinge, no toe break, and his feet are big and they're wobbly and weird, and he doesn't stand up really well. You really got to kind of finagle this figure. His ankles are loose as could be, and that big rubber head makes him heavy, so you've got to take your time to kind of stand him up. You'll be able to pose him, but it'll take a little bit of work to get him posed up, but you can do it. It'll just be a little bit limited because, like I said, this head is heavy in hand. He's very, very top heavy, so he will tip over really easy on these little legs. And so he's a mini, so I don't want to complain too much, but I mean, they should have engineered him to where he would function a little bit. And in some ways he does, but in some ways he doesn't. His proportions are really screwed up. Like the lower part of his arm is too long. And when you try to engage his double elbow, it hits him right in the face unless you're doing something that's not near his face. And his lower legs are too long because of how big these little feet are. So I know it's just kind of going with Daima or whatever, but it's still, they should have engineered us something that actually proportioned out right and, you know, could function a little bit better. But again, he's not super expensive, but that's not really the point now, is it? Bandai has done better, let me put it that way. That's all I've got for his articulation. Let's move into my final thoughts.
Now listen to me very carefully.
Okay, this little Vegeta mini. He's done some things that's irritated me, and I hate to sound like a negative Nancy because, I mean, he's a cute little figure, and, you know, you completionists out there are gonna want him regardless. And especially if you're wanting to not have to spend $35 on the SH Figure Arts one, he's a good pickup. You definitely don't need him. He's not an overall great figure. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll give him a C+. No, what? Yeah, I'm going to be even more strict. You know, I need to start actually tightening up. He's a C. He is average for Dragon Stars. He is average because he's way small. I mean, yeah, he got a blast effect or whatever, but he's way small and he still costs the same as other Dragon Stars. He's a C. I hate to say it, but you know, his articulation isn't the great. His proportions are off. He doesn't stand well. You know, you've really got to watch that. And this rubber hair, I don't know how I feel about it. It made the figure very heavy, top heavy. he's a C. He's not horrible. If you want him, buy him. You're not going to regret it, but you definitely don't need this figure by any stretch of the imagination. Sorry to kind of leave this video on a negative note, but that's all I've got for Vegeta. You know, buy him if you want to. You won't regret it, but you're not going to be thrilled with him either. If you have not already, please subscribe. We are on the road to 500 subscribers and we need your help to do it. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff, and check out our other videos. I think each and every video we're getting a little bit better, so support us in that way. And with all that said, this has been Dad with Dad's Expensive Hobby, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.